everyone. We are here again this morning. Welcome to CHM Classroom with Auntie Taiwo. Okay, we have been discussing a whole lot about element compounds, mixtures, bonding, electronic configuration, and all that. So today we'll be talking about balancing of chemical reactions, chemical equations. So before we go to the class, can you please click on the subscription button? Then we move. Yes. A lot of students find it difficult to balance simple chemical equation. Now, your chemical equation is a representation of reactions, yes. We represent our chemical reactions through the chemical equation. So, in a chemical equation, you have the reactant side and you have the product side. Yes, the reactant side and the product side. And the two sides must be what? Balanced. And one thing about chemical reaction is this: you need to understand the concept of your bonding so that you understand how some of these elements come together, because when you have a compound reacting with another compound will be formed at the product side. So you should get used to some of those compounds so that you actually know what will be formed at the other end. Right. Okay, so then I'm going to give us a kind of not really a formula, but something to guide us, especially when we are dealing with binary compound with just two elements in them. It will be easy for us to go about it. Now this is it. Maybe when you have AB reacting with CD, so A will go to D, then B will go to C. So you eventually have something like this: AD plus what? BC. All right. Then there's another thing again. When you see something like this, your HCO3, know that water and CO2 will be formed. Then there are some reactions too that you will cite hydrogen and you will cite OH. Know that water will be what? Formed. Okay, then there are some reactions that we call them the composition reaction. You have a particular compound that will break into smaller compounds. A typical example of that is your CaCO3. This is your calcium carbonate. Now it's going to break into calcium oxide plus what? CO2. Then there's something we call atom count. I'm going to count and see, okay, how many calcium do I have by this side? See here, I have only one here. Carbon is one here, is one there. Then my oxygen is 3 here. I have one oxygen here, 1. Then I have 2 here. 1 plus 2 will give me what? 3. So anytime you are trying to balance a chemical reaction, make sure that you do what we call the atom count, because the number of atoms on this side must be equal to the number of atoms on the other side. Now let us do some simple reactions so that you understand what we're actually trying to do here. Okay, I have my HCl, that's my acid, plus my NaOH. So we can use this method this way and this way. So now, please, your metal will come first. So I will have my NaCl, that's my sodium chloride, plus what? I have told us that when you cite hydrogen and you cite OH, water will be formed. H2O. So on the two sides now, my hydrogen here is 1, then is 1. So I have hydrogen 2 here and is 2 here. I have my chlorine to be what? 1 here and is 1 here. I have my sodium to be 1 here. My sodium is 1 here. My oxygen is 1. My oxygen is 1. So automatically this equation is what? Balanced. Okay, now let's move to another one. Okay, okay, let's do HCl again plus Na2CO3. Okay, now let's look at the board. I told us that this will go to this, right? Okay, so let's just follow it like that. So I have what? My NaCl will be formed. My NaCl will be formed plus Now I have what? H and CO3, and I told us once you cite HCO3, know that your H2 and your water will be what? Formed. H2O plus CO2 will be formed. Okay, now if you observe carefully, you will see that the equation is actually not balanced. Yes, it's not balanced. How many hydrogen do I have? I have 1. How many do I have? I have 2. So what am I going to do? There's a bit of manipulation. You're allowed to put certain numbers. Okay, so my hydrogen is 2 here. Let me put 2 behind it. And there's one thing, once you put a number behind, it's going to affect everything in front. So that means my hydrogen is 2 here, my chlorine is also 2 here. So that means my chlorine is 2 here. So I'm going to put another 2 right away. I'm going to put another 2. Yeah. So my sodium is 2 here, is already 2 here because there is a number behind. So I said it's going to affect everything in front. My carbon is 1. Carbon is 1. We are balanced for hydrogen. Then oxygen is 3 here. 1 plus 2 gives me 3. So automatically this equation is also balanced. Yes, it's balanced. So let me give us another one. Okay, formation of ammonia. You have your nitrogen plus oxygen plus hydrogen. Yes, it's actually a reversible reaction. Now, when you talk about a reversible reaction, these are reactions that can proceed both ways. The reactant can form the product and the product can come back to form the reactant. So I will have my ammonia. Please have at the back of your mind that whenever nitrogen and hydrogen is going to react, ammonia will be formed, and that is your NH3. Okay, so now let's look at what we have here. Is it balanced? No. My nitrogen here is what? 2. My hydrogen here is 2. But my hydrogen here is 3. So I'm going to look at it. What can I multiply together that will give me a multiple of both 2 and 3? Okay, if I multiply 2 times 3, if I multiply 2 times 3, it's going to give me 6. And if I put 3 here, 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. So I'm going to put 2 here. This is 2 times 3 will give me 6 for hydrogen. So I'm going to put 3 here. 3 times 2. So I guess the equation is balanced. So let's go back. Nitrogen is 2 here, is also 2 here because you have 2 behind and it's going to affect everything in front, of course. Then 3 times 2 will give me what? 6. 3 times 2 will give me 6. 2 times 3 will give me 6. So my equation for ammonia is balanced. So please just follow this trend. Know your product, know your compounds, and know the kind of bond that exists between them. It will be easy for you to have a balanced equation. So when else we will be going to other aspects. All right, so please tell your friends that something is happening on Chem Classroom with Auntie Taiwo, and we are really going to learn a lot during this holiday. All right.